everyone, I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen, and today I have an extra special video for you. Today I'm going to show you how to make this absolute beauty. This is a key lime pound cake. I am making it to take to a church potluck, but you can make it any old time. This thing is going to knock your socks off, and I know you're going to want to know how to make this. It's the perfect summer dessert. So let's go see how we put this all together. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to do a basic overview of our ingredients. We are using a new camera. I'm having to do a voiceover of the ingredients because we forgot to turn our microphone on when we initially did this. So you're going to start with a pound of butter. Make sure it's butter and not margarine. Very important that you don't use margarine. We're going to need 6 eggs. These are at room temperature, as well as the butter. You're going to need 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 cups of granulated sugar, a half a cup of milk, and a quarter cup of milk and a quarter cup of heavy cream, a half a cup of lime juice. This is key lime juice that I buy in a bottle that's very high quality. You can squeeze key limes if you like, but you need so many of them that it's kind of ridiculous, so I just buy the key lime juice. I do, however, have the zest of 4 fresh limes here, and that is absolutely necessary. I use limes all the time in my house, so using the limes after they're zested is not a problem. You're also going to need 2 teaspoons of good quality vanilla extract, as well as 1 teaspoon of lime extract. This is optional. If you don't have it or you can't find it, no big deal. I'm also using a teaspoon of the true lime powder, which is crystallized lime juice, just to really boost this cake and give it a super excellent lime flavor. So what we're going to do now is we're going to clear everything out of the way. We're going to go ahead and bring the mixer over, and then we're going to start mixing this delicious cake together. So join me in just a second, and we'll get this show on the road. All right, we're going to get started making our pound cake, and as I add things to the bowl, I'll just let you know what's going in. We have started, because it is a pound cake, we're starting with 1 pound of butter at room temperature, and we're going to be creaming this with 3 cups of granulated sugar. You should not reduce the sugar, and you should not use margarine. You should only use real butter. Pound cakes do not like anything but butter. Using margarine is going to affect the final outcome. And margarine is kind of like poison, so you don't want to eat it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and begin creaming this, and you're going to want to cream it until it's light and fluffy, and it may take up to 5 minutes for that to happen. Alright, our butter and sugar is creamed perfectly. Now I want you to see the color of this. In my Bosch it just takes a few minutes, but if you're using a different mixer, you see how it literally looks fluffy and it almost looks white. It has the slightest hint of pale yellow in there, and that is exactly how you want it to look before you proceed. Creaming is essential at this step of the cake. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to incorporate all 6 eggs one at a time until they are incorporated. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you allow each egg to mix in until you no longer see any yellow. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in our extracts. There goes the lime extract, the vanilla extract. I'm also going to add all of the lime juice, the lime zest, and the true lime. And then I'm going to put the collar on just because I don't want a lot of backsplash. So safety first, people. All right. Now we're going to add the flour and the milk in thirds. So you want to start with 1/3 of the flour. You're going to then add half the milk, then 1/3 of the flour, then half the milk, and the last third of the flour. So in the milk you add in halves, the flour you add in thirds. So we'll go ahead and add about 1/3 of the flour. And go ahead and add about half of my milk. Another 1/3 of the flour. Rest of my milk, and the rest of the flour. Then we'll get in here with a spatula and we'll scrape down all of our parts here. I have, in case you hadn't noticed, I added my scraper blade after the fact when I first started creaming the butter and the sugar, because this is a time when you really want that if you have one available. I'm going to give it one more mix. And that's it. Now we're going to get our pan, prepare it, and we'll pour it in the pan. I'll bring you back when it's time to pour this in the pan. Okay, our cake batter is all ready to go, and I have prepared a tube pan. And this is just a basic tube pan you would bake an angel food cake in. You can also use a 10-cup bundt pan. Anything smaller, you're going to have to use less batter and cook the rest off some other way. You can also use 2 standard 9x5 loaf pans. And today we're going to use the tube pan because I'm going to make it for church. And all we're going to do is pour it in. Okay, now all you want to do is, I'm going to take my spatula. I know this looks a little weird, but because of the way I spooned it into the pan, we want to make sure there are no air bubbles. So, much like when you make an angel food cake and you run a knife through the batter, this is just my way of making everything settle down. And then we're going to give it a good wrap on the counter. And then we have our oven preheating at 300 degrees. Now all of the times and all of the ingredients are going to be listed on the recipe, and you can go to my website and you can print that out once the video is uploaded and I post the recipe. This tube pan needs to bake for approximately 1 hour and 40 minutes. So that's 100 minutes. And it needs to bake until a toothpick or a skewer inserted in the center comes out clean. And we're going to put this in the oven right now at 300 degrees. If you use 2 loaf pans, those will cook in about an hour's time. So you just want to make sure you check them. Okay, in it goes for an hour, and we'll be back when it's time to take it out. All right, this has been in the oven for about an hour and 40 minutes. I did take it out and poke it with a skewer. It is done all the way, but just to be safe, I'll show you. You just want to pierce that with a skewer or a toothpick, and when it comes out, it's pretty dry, just a couple of crumbs. That's perfect. We're going to let this cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, then I'm going to remove it. I'm going to allow it to cool, and then I'm probably going to make a little bit of a powdered sugar glaze with some lime juice to go on top. And that's it. We'll be back when it's time to show you the finished product. All right, here we have it. I have made a glaze, which is just my simple icing glaze. I'll leave a link in the description box below how I make this. Except instead of milk, butter, and cream, I only use key lime juice. I did want to mention too, the lime juice that I use, I did use fresh zest of 4 limes, but I use this key lime juice. You can feel free to juice your own key limes. Sometimes they're hard to find, they're very expensive, and you need about 100 of them to get 1/4 of a cup. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but a 1/2 cup of key lime juice takes a significant amount of key limes. It's much easier to just buy this. It's very high quality, and I like it. I've been using it for years. So what I did was, this is 2 cups of powdered sugar and 5 tablespoons of that key lime juice. Just whisk together until it got to the perfect consistency. I like it a little on the thick side, but so it runs right off the spoon in a ribbon, and then we just cover the top. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and even though I'm taking this to a potluck in the morning, I wanted to show you what this looks like when it's sliced.
Smells incredible.
Oh, yes, it does. There it is. Beautiful key lime pound cake. All right, are you ready to taste this?
If I have to.
Okay. This is still a little on the warm side. Tomorrow it's going to be absolutely perfect. I find that pound cake is always better the day after you make it. That is straight up delicious. Kara's going to love it. I just know it. And so is everyone else. And that is the most beautiful and delicious key lime pound cake you're ever going to make, ever going to taste, and everybody's going to love it. If you like this video today, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we present every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope you give this key lime pound cake a try, whether it's for a potluck supper or for yourself and your family. I hope that you try it, and I hope that you do love it. And until next time, I'll see ya. Oh. Did I get you, babe? And we are shooting this on our brand new camera that we got for the channel. It is a Canon 70D DSLR, and